Hello, hi. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Lovely to know you're here. It's coming up to being 4 of you here, or 3, 3 or 4. So if you want to put in the chat box who's here, I'm still drinking my pretend coffee. Oh, there's only 2 of you now. Okay, so if you want to put in the chat box who's here, then that will be kind of helpful for me. And yeah, I hope you're well. I've just been running a little bit late this morning, so it's nice just to come and arrive and just to kind of drop in without feeling too flustered. So I'm just going to check. Eve, are you here? Let's see if you're here yet. I might just wait a minute just to see who else. Who else might turn up? Because we had 4 at one point. Let's drop down. So if you're around, I'm not going to start, I think, until I know that you're kind of, whoever's here is actually at their computer and ready, because otherwise you'll miss out on the beginning bit. So I do know a couple of people who don't have a YouTube channel or something like that, so they can't actually tell me that they're here. So it might be you, but I'll start very soon anyway. But I just don't want to I don't want people to turn up and then they'll kind of miss the whole beginning if they were wanting to start with us. Okay. So I've had a like, so maybe that's a hello. Oh, great, Eve's here. At least one person's here. And then I imagine if the other person might be one of the people who can't can't message. Okay, fine. Eve, as long as you're here and whoever else is, you're very welcome as well. Then I will start. That's fine. I just needed to know that somebody was actually physically. On the I like that I'm on the big telly, because that's a nice, that's a great way of doing it. Probably very pixelated. Okay, I will start then because you're here. That's great. And I don't know if maybe it's Richard or somebody else. All right, so let's get going. We'll see if anyone else turns up. Okay, just sort this little area out. I think that's fine. We've got a plug in it, but never mind. It'll be okay. I hope it's all right that I've got my tea. I think I'll get my tea and my water. And then I might just occasionally have a swig of tea, because okay. So I hope I'm not too far away. That's probably just the way I put the table. I'm putting it forward because otherwise you get to see all the silly stuff in the background and you don't need that. So I've got my little cushion that I made in class 3. at Steiner School in Christchurch in New Zealand. It's my crochet. That's actually my yoga cushion. I use it for because it's nice and it's kind of nice and firm. I think it's like packed full of sheep's wool or something. So I'll pop that under there. So yeah, make yourself comfortable, and yeah, just be ready to get yourself ready for the practice. We'll start in our usual way where we bring ourselves into the room, centering. Actually, maybe we could put one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. And that's a nice way sometimes of starting, because it's kind of quite the belly's quite grounding, and the heart can really help. Having the hand on the heart can really help kind of slightly calm the nervous system. And then there's that grounding area of the lower chakras. And then with every inhale, we can start to guide our spine slightly straighter. Guide our upper body a little bit further upwards from the crown of the head. And with every exhale, we can soften. So soften the shoulders and the face muscles. And then when we breathe in, we can inhale, expanding the chest. So feeling your hand that's on your heart rising slightly. And then exhale, noticing how it gently eases back towards your spine. Inhale, breathing into the belly this time. So we're really noticing and expanding below our lower hand, the hand that's on the belly. Expanding of the belly. Exhale, releasing and gently following the belly back towards the spine. So we're not kind of pushing it back, but just acknowledging the inhalation and exhalation. So inhale, chest. Exhale, chest. Inhale, belly. Exhale, belly. Inhale, chest. Exhale. Inhale, belly. Exhale. Just keeping this slight, gentle wave, seesawing wave. Continue for a little bit. And then we'll begin by chanting the on vibration 3 times, as we do when we start together. So breathing in. And then gently releasing the hands down. We can begin by either keeping the eyes closed or opening them slightly with a soft eye gaze. And then having a little look over the left shoulder. So we're gently releasing out the neck. Exhale. Inhale forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just in your own time, looking from side to side. And then looking straight ahead and having a little move over of the ear. So the left ear is going over to the left shoulder. Inhale up and over the other side. It's nice, just gently stretching out the upper trapezius here. And then this time, let's bring out the hand, the arm, and gently be really careful because it's actually quite a bit stronger. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. And exhale over. Nice. Okay, coming back to center and then having a little look down at the legs. Guiding the head round and then over like a rainbow. And then down. Looking at the legs rather. And then over, arching over. Being careful of the back of your neck. And arching over, nice. Being super gentle. And then the other way. Remembering your breath. So we're inhaling. So we move up and exhaling down. And then gently lifting up the head. Lovely, great. And then shoulders lifting and release. Lifting and release. Oh, nice. You can be as dynamic as you want to with this, with letting the breath out. And then lifting up the shoulders and rotating forward. Great, fantastic. And then backwards. Nice, good. And then shaking out the hands. And lifting the hands up. And over to the side. And flicking out, flick. Stretching up. Coming forward. Over to the side. Stretching up. Coming forward. Over to the side. Great. That's wonderful. Have a little shake out if that's being strong on your arms. Yeah, fantastic. Great. So place the left hand down and the right hand over. And maybe just rest here for a little bit. We can do this in a flow, but it's quite nice sometimes to rest. Resting over to the side. Lots of lovely deep breaths, stretching out your side of your body. And then over to the other side. And then let's go over to the left side again, stretching out the right side of your body. And then over to the right side, stretching out the left side of your body. And then bringing yourself up. Lovely. Now, if you've been sitting, because we've been sitting for a little while, you can change the cross of your leg or have a little go of, yeah, that's right. Moving out your legs and then bringing the other way on front, the one that's a bit more awkward. Okay. So lifting from the crown of the head and then over to the side. So we're into our twist. So remember, when we're twisting, we inhale, there's a lengthening, and exhale, softening into the twist. And lots of nice deep breaths. Enjoy this first twist of the morning. Exhale back to center and then the other way. Lots of nice deep breaths. Inhale as the lifting, exhales softening. And then exhale back to center. Lovely. Really nice. Okay, so let's bring the feet out and we'll rock from side to side. And the knees up. And then bringing the knees into Baddha Konasana, the feet into Baddha Konasana with the knees open. And yeah, let's start with our butterfly, our cobbler. So we've got our feet together and they're quite close to your to the pelvis. More gently lift and gently release. Lift and release. So see how this feels. Only stretch as much as you want to and feels comfortable. Lifting and releasing. Lots of lovely deep full breaths. Now, if that feels enough, quite strong. That one's quite strong for me up there. We'll bring the feet forward. Lift from the crown of the head and exhale gently forward. So this is a bit more held. So we're not moving the knees at all at the moment. We're just allowing ourselves to move forward. And then gently bring yourself up. Great. Okay, so let's take hold of the right foot and have a little massage. So we're just going to massage in the arch of the foot. That's your spine, reflexology. And then have a little play around with the balls of the feet and down the side. So just really get into it, get into your heel, just whatever feels good. And then pulling out the toes. Nice, good. Have a little pull out. And then take hold of the heel and have a little shake. You're taking hold of your ankle and your heel. Shaking out your foot. And then rotating your ankle, or rotating the foot around and then the other way. So you're holding onto your ankle with both hands. And then bringing your fingers into your toes. So one finger is going in between each toe. And you can have a little play around again, like rotating as well if you want to. Just while you're doing that. So you're giving yourself your feet an opportunity to stretch and widen. And then bringing your foot into the nook of your elbow and then taking hold of your hands and having a little rock. Rocking from side to side. And it might be that your body doesn't do that. So you might actually want to hold your knee and hold your foot. And then you have a little rock. Then stretching out your leg. If it feels like you can take hold of your foot and stretch out your leg. So to see how that is for you, it might not be that this is possible. And then you can, if you can, take hold of your big toe and then stretch out your leg. And if Eve is still there, I think it's just you and me actually, so I can be a bit more specific to you. Sorry to take you out of the practice, but can you just tell me if you're still here, Eve? And then I can kind of like remember you rather than talking to a group. I can know it's just you. And we can just unfortunately you can't, it's so annoying that you can't talk back to me. Yeah, so in the meantime, we can go back to our massaging. But if you're still there, then it would be great to know you're still there and I can speak to you. Anything I remember, we can do things that are specifically good for you. So yeah, massaging inside the arch. The arch of the foot. Of course I'm here. Oh, good. Great, that's you. So it's actually just us, which is quite fun. That's never happened before, actually. We've always had like group of people. So massaging your foot like we did before. And I'll just know a little bit more about what suits your body. And we'll just go into the pads of the feet and then down the sides. And then coming down to the heel. Have a little play around with your heel. And pulling out the feet. And my yoga therapy course has been postponed to start till January, which is actually quite good because it means you get the cabin finished. I'll just let you know that because I know you used to started your course. So I want to hear about your course though. That sounds great. About hydration. My God, that sounds really important. Okay, so we're pulling out the toes at this point. And then taking hold of the heel and shaking out the heel. And then rotating the foot. And then the other way. And then having a bit of a, that's right, taking your fingers and placing them in between your toes. And you can even do another little bit of circling if you want to, as you stretch out your toes. And then the other way. That's good. So now if you come into rock the baby, so I'm not sure, I actually can't remember if you can do full rock the baby like this. I know, yeah, that's something I can't remember if you can do that one. So if you can't, then take hold of your knee and just have a little rock around in any way and see how it is stretching out the foot. It might be that you're actually just holding the foot like this. And then taking hold of the big toe if that works for you, and doing this. Just being mindful of your hip. So don't do anything that feels, I mean, you know this already, but just don't do anything that feels like it's going to pull your hip out or anything like that, or it's just really uncomfortable. Okay, and then bringing the foot down to meet the other one. And we'll get ready to come onto all fours. So we'll bring ourselves onto all fours here. And just remembering your alignment. So remember that hip width is your skeleton hips. So it's easy to want to kind of move them a little bit further out. And that's totally okay. I mean, I've been teaching pregnancy yoga, and that we, you know, in pregnancy yoga, you encourage that. But actually, as a woman with, who isn't pregnant, it's quite good to realign your hips so you've got the stability of your hips, being your legs being kind of trained to be in line with your hips. So we're not totally closing our legs all the time like you would in Ashtanga yoga, where you're kind of like holding it together and it feels quite strict and you're doing a lot of closing, or we're not being really, really wide. Not usually, but kind of, it's a great way of aligning the body and helping with posture and helping the spinal alignment as well. Okay, so having a little look, you should be able to fit probably about a fist in between, or a block, like a yoga block, in between your legs. Okay, and let's start with the spinal awareness. So we're just moving the spine from side to side, or any way that you want to. So we're just moving, any which way that feels comfortable and how you would like to move this morning. Might even have a little go in a funny little cobra posture. Just really breathe into how you would like to move this morning. So your hands are shoulder width, which is a bit wider than hip width, so as wide as your shoulders. Again, it's encouraging alignment. So your arms are just hanging by your side rather than kind of opening, or if we were standing. Lots of lovely stretches and breaths. And even while we're moving, could still be moving, but then start to pad the hands over to the left. And so we can move into a side stretch while still moving the body in a free way. And then gently moving back to center. You can still be moving your body. And then over to the right side. And gently moving your hands back to center so that they're shoulder width apart again. Then we'll start to take our movements into a flowing cat. So we're still flowing, so we're still moving in quite a fluid way. But we're just moving super slow. Lots of lovely deep breaths. That's inhaling up, exhaling as you go down and scoop. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale. Nice. And then gently moving back, moving the body back to stillness, or bringing the body back to stillness, and then opening up the knees with the toes touching. And in a slightly flowing way, we'll bring ourselves, I like this, we're going to bring ourselves forward into Anahatasana. I like having this blanket here because it's a bit hard here. Bring yourselves forward into Anahatasana. Lots of nice deep breaths. So the arms are stretched out and the heart is almost, see if it might even be touching the mat, depending on your flexibility this morning. Quite a strong stretch. And then beginning to move yourself back up, bringing the knees in together, or they can be slightly far apart as well, a bit too, but just basically you'll bring them in a little bit more, and coming back into child. So balasana, remember you can put your hands on your fists if you need to. You can just really rest here. And then start to guide the hands over to the side. So it's another side stretch. So we're coming over to the left side, stretching out the right hand, and then the left hand can be a little bit loose. And we'll just rest here for a moment in the side stretch. And then back to center. And over to the right hand side. So you're stretching out your left side of your body. So your left arm is stretched up and the right arm is loose. Lots of deep, calming breaths, and this will help stretch out your muscles. And then back to center. Bring yourself up and then gently moving back onto your heels. So in Vajrasana, which is diamond, or gets called diamond posture sometimes. Sitting back on the heels and then bringing the hands to the heart center. Taking a moment of calm reflection and then lifting up, inhale up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, back into child. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, downward dog. And this is the first downward dog, so let's have a little stretch out. We can do heels, like one heel down at a time. Really encourage your chest back towards your knees. Lowering down, upward cat. Exhale, child. Inhale, scooping through. We're going to come through to cobra. Inhale, up. Little baby cobra. Exhale, down. A little bit higher. Inhale, a little bit higher. See how that is. Remember, you've still got bent elbows and your elbows are in at your sides and your soft shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, down. Take a breath in. Inhale, exhale back to downward dog. Take a few breaths here in downward dog, either walking up the dog or being still. If you're quite comfortable and still in dog, you can lift up your pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles. Strong practice. Remember, the emphasis is in your thumb and your forefinger. That's holding you, supporting you. Pads of your hands. Exhale, and then inhale, upward cat. Exhale, child. If you need to dance out your wrists, please do. Inhale, extended Vajrasana. Exhale, seated. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, have a look up. Exhale, back into child. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, child. Inhale, coming through into cobra. So we're just coming into baby cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale into higher cobra. Exhale, down. Take a breath in. Exhale. Back into a hover. So we're just lifting the knees off the mat. Take a few breaths here. See how it is. Maybe even bounce around. So remember to keep your pelvic floor lifted and your tummy muscles lifted. Take a breath in and then exhale, downward dog. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, child. Inhale, up. Maybe a little stretch back, the back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And then bring yourself down. Lovely. That's great. Just a little moment here. Centering the heart center, holding the hands at the heart center.
And then placing the hands down and then bringing your right leg forward. So coming up into a low lunge. Just holding ourselves here in low lunge with the hands at the heart. Taking a few breaths. The eye gaze is forward. Bringing the hands down again and then lifting up for a moment into high lunge. See how that is? Hands can be on the hips to begin with. So with the lunge, your back leg is lovely and straight and the energy is releasing through. So you're really drawing the energy from the hips back into that back leg. Of course, into your planted right foot as well, the right leg. And then clip down the back foot. I can move this now so you can see. Clip down the back foot so it's 15 degrees in, so just a little bit in, and your heel to heel alignment. So having a look forward, you're in Virabhadrasana 1. So this is the first warrior posture, lifting up the arms. I have them like straight above me, in not prana mudra, not wide above, but just straight above. I'm looking forward. Lifting up pelvic floor, remember? Nice and strong. And then opening up into warrior 2 and heel toeing. So you do heel toe your right foot so that it's arch to heel alignment. And then looking out over your front hand. Opening up here. Nice. Strong. Turning around the front hand and then coming back into peaceful warrior. And then bringing the hands back, the arms back parallel to warrior 2. And then down into Parshvakonasana, so side angle posture. So if you see, I've got it's fairly straight going through. I think you're pretty good with this alignment in this one as well. So holding your arm, resting your arm on your thigh, lifting up pelvic floor. So really making sure that we're being secure in that area. And then coming back into warrior 2. Straightening the leg, bringing yourself forward. And going to go into goddess. So opening up the hips here. The feet are faced out. We can just take a moment in goddess. We can either have our mudra or not. So with the thumb and forefinger together. And we could lift up one heel at a time if it feels okay. Otherwise, you could just stay down. Strong. And then something we do in pregnancy yoga with our goddess posture is we lift up and down. Lift up and down. So hopefully you're the right time of the month for this to be feeling all right. I didn't ask you that. And then hands to the heart. And then lift up. Ooh, strong on the legs. Nice. Okay, so turning the other way. And then lowering the knee down. And coming into our low lunge. Lots of lovely deep breaths as we stretch out the hip. You'll be stretching your left. Well, if you did the same as me, you'll be stretching your left kind of inner hip, but your right front hip, if you know what I mean, area. And then placing the hands down and then coming up into high lunge. Remembering your energy is strong and out the back of the leg, the back leg. Hands on the shoulders, and not shoulders, making this up now. Hands on the waist, hands to the heart, and then coming up into Prana Mudra above the head. Deep, lovely breaths. And then clip down the back heel. So your heel to heel alignment for warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1, and your right leg is just 15 degrees in, so turning them in slightly. Oh, getting yourself in alignment. So your heel is over your ankle and you can see your big toe. Nice open hips. Looking forward and then open up into warrior 1 hands. So you can have your hands together in warrior 1, or you can have them shoulder width apart. I'm doing shoulder width. And I'm looking straight ahead. Quite often if I'm doing Ashtanga or something, I'll have my hands together. I'll be looking up at my hands. But I'm looking straight ahead this time with my hands shoulder width apart. Slightly less intense. And then coming into warrior 2, opening up the hands and then heel toe the left foot, the front foot, so that you're heel to arch alignment. Lifting up pelvic floor. Nice and open, nice and open. Deep breaths, looking straight over your left hand and turning the hand over and coming back into peaceful warrior. If it's too strong, just take time out. Then coming back, warrior 2. And then down into Parsvakonasana. Remember, you're not leaning in it. We're not kind of leaning in. We're not putting our weight down. We're just holding ourselves up. Our legs are taking the weight. They're holding us. And we're just like casually leaning on our forearm on the thigh. And lovely and straight down, all down the side of the body. It's nice and straight. Bring yourself back up. Whew, strong. And bring your feet facing forward. Taking a breath in, bending the knees, exhale. Bring yourself into forward fold. Having a little bob here in forward fold, that's nice. And then coming to flat back. Bend the knees slightly, hands on hips, and bring yourself back up. Bring the hands out. And this one sometimes I think is a bit tricky for you. So be careful with your shoulders. Opening up your chest, clasping like this. Opening up the chest. Bend the knees. Exhale forward. This is just a nice way of stretching out your shoulders. But if it feels like it's just not good, release your shoulders so you're not getting sore or anything like that. And gently bring yourself back up. Lovely. Release the hands down and then bringing the feet in a little bit and start to come down into our yogi squat. Doing quite a few squats today, all like quite a bit of leg action anyway. And I can't remember if this is something that you have done before, if you like doing it, or if I'm not sure if you have done it before. It's the crow. It's got a few different names. I can't remember. It's Sanskrit names. It's got a couple actually of similar Sanskrit names. Suddenly can't remember it. That's funny. Okay, so placing the hands down, and we've got our arms. What I'm going to do is take this. Just sometimes I like to do this. So if it's not good for you right now, just don't do it. If I take this off, I can show you a bit better. So the arms are going inside your knees, and then you place your hands down about shoulder width apart, and you're coming into a bit of an arm balance. So to see how that is, it might be that that's really not good for you, but it's quite a nice one if you can. It's actually quite a gentle arm balance. Like I can do it, and I haven't got strong arms. That's because I'm being supported by my legs. So the legs are really, you're really pushing in. You're pushing your upper arm into your knees, and that gives you that stability. Placing the hands down, and then bringing yourself up. And that might be good for you. I won't do it any longer in case it's not. But yeah, it might not work for you, and we can always talk about that afterwards, or talk about it another time. So, okay, so that's a nice thing to do from squat if you want something a bit stronger. And then bring ourselves down onto the mat. Oh, that's nice. That's quite strong. Ooh. So I'm going to just, for a moment, we're going to go into Dandasana, staff posture. And I'm going to use my little trusty class 3 cushion to give me a bit of a tilt of my pelvis. So you might do that if you want to. Hands by the side, flexed feet. Taking a few breaths. The drishti, your eye gaze, is at your big toe. Taking a breath in. And we could slide. It's quite a nice way of doing it, to slide your hands down from your thighs and just see where they want to go. So it might be that this is far enough. It might be that you move a little bit more forward, keeping a rather still a bit of a straight back. It doesn't have to be really straight, like mine's a little bit rounded, you'll see, but still kind of upright. And it might be that you can take hold of your feet. Otherwise, if you have a strap, you can also use a strap. But otherwise, it's it's perfectly good just to be here. That feels okay. And so we're in Mahan Mudra. So that's the Great Seal. Having a little look at our big toes and thumbs. But if your hands are down here, then it won't be your thumbs, it'll just be your big toes. So breathing in with breath into the heart, breath out the heart to the hands to the foot. Circle of energy, circle of breath. Breathing in. And then exhale, moving into Paschimottanasana. So we're having a stronger stretch of your lower back. Up into the back, maybe even around the shoulder blades. But it might be that your hands are here on your shins or on the floor, the mat. Taking a breath in and exhale. Bringing yourself back up. That's nice. That's good. And then we'll bring the left heel into the right thigh and the right ankle over to the left thigh. So actually, when I say thigh, I mean the heel, the left heel is right in at your hip. I mean, not your thigh, and your right ankle is in at your left thigh. Makes sense. So Ardha Matsyendrasana. Okay. Breathing in, lifting through the crown. Breathing out. We will exhale, bring ourselves round a little bit, placing your right hand behind you. Breathing in, lift up your left arm. Exhale. You can use the lever or you can just hold it like this. So you can just like wrap around your knee like this. Otherwise you can lever, which I quite like, your upper arm into your knee. Bringing yourself round. Lots of nice, deep, relaxing breaths. So remember, you're inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, softening. When you soften, you're softening just a little bit more into the twist. Breath in. And exhale, bringing yourself back round. And we can go over to the other side, just have a little exhale and bow down here. Bring yourself up and then over to the other side. So right ankle, left hip. Left ankle, right thigh. Take a breath in. Then exhale, placing the left hand behind. Breath in, lifting up the right hand, and then either take a little hug of the left knee or lever the upper arm around the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Softening just a little bit more into the twist. Nice, deep, long, steady, lovely breaths. Take a breath in and then exhale, bringing the body back to center. Bring the upper body back to center and then over to the right side and have a little bow. Exhale. Inhale up and release. Lovely, nice. It's good. Something we haven't done, which I want to do. So, especially because I think you like this one as well. So I wanted to come into pigeon actually, which I forgot about. So bringing the hands shoulder width apart, lift up. So you're on your tabletop. Lift up the right leg, and then bring the right leg underneath your body, underneath your hips, and stretch out the left leg. So you can have your left foot is on tiptoes. So you're actually like bending over, that's nice and straight, your left leg. And then ease forward. See how that goes? And then ease back. And then lay down. Lay the foot down. So you're kind of, you've opened up your hips. You've given yourself some room. And you've eased back and opened up your hips. And we'll be up here and upward, like open, I guess upward facing pigeon rather than sleeping pigeon, awake pigeon, Kapotasana. And then let's bring your hand behind, so your left hand behind, and take hold of your left foot. So if you're feeling like your hips, I can't remember, I think, sorry, it's escaping me whether or not we put a cushion under your hips before. But if you need a cushion under your right hip or a blanket, put it under now. It'll be your right hip if you need it. If you're feeling like you're falling over to the side. So it might be that you stay here with this stretch, this quad stretch. Otherwise, you might be able to bring it back a little bit. So you're stretching the quads a little bit more and you'll bring your heel back towards your buttocks. Just see how that is. And looking forward. It's quite a strong stretch. And then releasing the foot back down, having a little lift up, and then you can come into sleeping pigeon. So coming forward. That one gets called, especially if you swing behind and grab it from the back of your head, it gets called Eka Pada, which is one legged or one foot. Eka is one and Pada is foot or leg. Eka Pada, Raja, which is king, like Maharaja, or prince. Kapot Asana, so kapot or kapota is the pigeon. So one-legged king pigeon. That one gets called, referred to. And then we'll bring ourselves down. Lots of nice deep breaths. Enjoy the stretch of your hip. And then start to bring yourself up. So you're opening up your chest. That kind of pigeon, that nice pigeon sound. They come up. And then lift up the back leg again, making room. And then gently releasing your right leg. And then we can shake out the right leg. Give it a little shake out. This is actually a good shake out for sciatica or anything like that. So it's also quite good if you've been lying on your hip. Lying on your leg. And then releasing down. Lovely. Okay, now stretch out the left leg. Bringing your left leg underneath. Into upward facing pigeon. Opening up your chest. Proud pigeon. And we can do the lifting. We can also do the lifting of the back leg as well. So lifted right leg and then swing ourselves forward and then backwards, creating a bit more space. And that helps come into the stretch quite fairly strong into the stretch. But only do this as only go into it as much as it feels comfortable. Nice deep breath. And then taking hold of the right foot. And then you might be able to bring your exhale the right foot a little bit more towards your buttock, towards your bum, to see how that is. Stretching out your quads a lot more. And then releasing down, open up the chest, and then come into sleeping pigeon. And really rest here in sleeping pigeon. It's kind of, we're coming towards towards Shavasana now. So we're just really starting to rest and feeling a bit, you can start to relax the body a little bit. We can be a bit, now we're not doing an active stretch of the quads and upright. We can actually relax into pigeon a bit. Relax the muscles. It becomes a bit more like yin yoga, where you're not really engaging muscles so much. And then gently bring yourself back up. Turn around the toes, lift up the leg, activate your right leg. And then bring the left leg to meet the right leg on all fours and shake out the left leg. And then bring yourself briefly into seated, but actually really we're coming lying down. So you can start to bring yourself lying down. I'm just going to put my top back on because it's getting chilly, and we're going into relaxation. So just before we move into relaxation, we'll just have a little rock from side to side of the hips. So your knees are rocking from side to side, twisting out your hips. Lovely. And then let's rock the pelvis. So we're just going to do pelvic tilts. So your knees are hip width apart. So making sure that they're definitely hip width apart rather than out at shoulder width. So make sure they're hip width, and we're just gently pressing the lower back, the lordosis, into the mat, lifting up the pelvic floor as we do so. So exhaling your lower back into the mat, navel back to spine, lifting up your pelvic floor, and then inhale as you go back down. So it can be fairly fast, like you don't have to do super, super slow to see how it is. We're just doing a little bit of rocking. Of course, you can go slow if you want to. It's always an invitation. So bringing your knees into the chest and just rock around your lower back, middle back, upper back. Oh, I'm tired today. I'm really tired. I didn't get enough sleep, I don't think. And then waving out your feet. Nice. It feels so nice. I love rocking my back like this. And then bringing the hands up into happy baby, always a favourite. Bring the thumb and forefinger, peace fingers around the toes if you can, and then open up. We've done our wide leg stretch, so this is similar. Stretching out. And just before we come down to Shavasana, if you want to, because we were talking about Halasana last time when you were down, we could go into, if it's comfortable for you to do this, bring your knees up into the chest. Remember, if we were doing Iyengar yoga, we would be totally propped up now. So just be careful that you're careful of your neck, and so don't turn your neck to look at the TV or anything. So we're just coming into Halasana, which is the plow, lifting up temporarily into half shoulder stand, where you bend, where you're you've got straight legs, but you're like a bit like a right angle. So you might be able to have a quick look at what I'm doing, but just be careful of your neck. And in a moment, when we come into plow, you've got to be really careful of your neck. So you're not in full shoulder stand, which is up like this. We're just in half shoulder stand. So just resting the hands on the lower back. And then moving back into plow, Halasana. That means your feet are going as far back towards the floor behind you as they can. If we were at Iyengar and stuff, we might even have a chair supporting our feet, depending on, and we'd definitely have blankets down and all sorts of things. So they're just being mindful that, yeah, it's just practice safely. But lots of schools of yoga just go into this all the time. So just yeah, be careful. And then bringing the knees down towards the ears for a bit of ear pressure pose, a little bit. So we don't need to put lots of pressure on the ears, but you can just bring the knees down. And then gently guide yourself down. So you're bringing back flat onto the mat with the knees facing the ceiling. And anything you need to do to balance it out if you feel like, oh, that was strong. Because for me, that feels like quite a nice way to finish. Because I feel like I was ready for that and that was right. But if you need to, just go, move your knees just from side to side, or bring your knees into your chest, or do anything that feels right. And then we're moving into Shavasana now. So bring yourself into the full Shavasana if you want to. Otherwise, you can have your knees up facing the ceiling. Or you can have, if you've got a bolster or cushions, you have them under your knees. That's nice. Make yourself comfortable with a blanket, eye mask, anything you've got. And so really begin to fully relax your body. You're taking this time to completely rest. This is your time to rest, time to integrate the physical practice. We've done some strong postures. Got the blood pumping. Got the legs shaking. So Now it's time to totally soften all your muscles. Soften all the ligaments to holding your bones together. All your tendons. If it was possible to soften your bones, you'd be softening your bones right now. Imagine you're like a jellyfish. You don't even have any bones, that's how soft you are. Feel this relaxation moving from the crown of the head all over your upper body. As the relaxation moves across your upper body, your chest and upper arm, your arms, your belly, fronts of your legs, all around your pelvis, tops of your feet, right to the soles of your feet, to the tips of your toes. So you feel this relaxation wash over you. Softness is laying on top of your lower body. So the upper body rests on top of your lower body. And your lower body's really invited to also relax. Your lower body is listening to your upper body. Feeling that relaxation. Move from around your belly, all around your lower back. From your chest, all the way around your upper back and mid back. From your upper arms, the top of your arms, or on the backs of your arms, backs of your hands. From your face and your throat, all the way on the back of your neck, soft. Back of your head is all soft and relaxed. All the way the top of your pelvis, or your hips, going around your bum, just totally like jelly, like really relaxed. There's a heaviness. All the relaxation in your legs, upper legs, all the tops of your legs, front of your legs is now moving round to the backs of your thighs, your calves, backs of your knees, your heels, from the front of your foot right round to the soles of your feet. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. can start to deepen your breath. Begin to find a little bit of movement. Maybe in your fingers and in your toes. Could gently rock your head from side to side. You find your way onto your side. You can make your way gently back up to seated. And if you're already in seated, you can bring the hands to the heart center. And start to draw the breath deeply into the lungs. Inhaling, feeling the lengthening, the golden thread from the crown of the head slightly lifting. Exhaling, softening, brow, softening the jaw, lips, all the face muscles. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften the shoulders. And then let's us breathe in together to finish our practice with the Om vibration. Finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring the hands up above the head to Prana Mudra. Taking 3 deep, life-affirming breaths. And hands above the head. Namaste. Down through the centers. Sahasrara, Ajna, Shuddhi, and Anahata. Namaste. Thank you for coming and sharing this practice. It's always so lovely to have you. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have a one-to-one. Now we've got two at the end, but it's lovely to have a one-to-one. I can't remember what I was going to ask you, Eve. It was something about oh, thank you, darling. I was quite tired today, so I was quite slow and didn't talk too much. Probably. But yeah, I was going to ask you: was there any thing that was uncomfortable for you? Because I forgot a couple of things, whether or not what you found difficult, but I can't remember if there was any parts that were. Twas. There was some, you mean? There was someone that was difficult. Yeah, so anyway, hopefully it wasn't too strong and everything, but it felt nice, and do it all again next week. And who's our second person? I always wonder who these people are. This is the first time it's ever happened. Mostly fine, leg cradle hard. Oh, do you mean when we were doing the rock the baby? And one twist. Oh yeah, which one was that? Do you mean the twist, the Ardha Matsyendrasana, when we were the seated twist? Ah, hi, Stefan. Hi. Lovely to meet you, Stefan. You just popped in at the end. If you do want to do the practice, I don't know if you're here for any of it, but if you do want to do the practice, it starts at 9:30 in the morning UK time. So from the northeast US, oh, so you probably went up New York State, about 200 kilometers from New York City. 200k. How much is that miles? 200. Oh, that's in miles. That is 120 miles, isn't it? Well, lovely to meet you. That's great. And I suppose it's really early in the morning for you, actually, because you're 5 hours behind. So it's pretty early. So you wouldn't be able to make it at the beginning of the practice anyway. I was quite late today, but I do try to make it when I can. Oh, do you come? Do you actually normally come to my class? And I didn't know. Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah, but it's because you'd have to get up really early because I started 9:30. Oh, great. You're up very early. Well, it's nice to know that you come. Today was our smallest day ever. I thought I was just doing it with Eve. So I did a bit of one-to-one with my friend Eve, which was great. But lovely that you came, Stefan. And yeah, it's gentle yoga. I've been quite a few times. I really enjoy your teaching style and sequences. Oh, that's so nice. That's really lovely. It's nice to know that we've got an early riser from New York State. That's good. Oh, thank you, Eve. It's lovely. Well, I'm very pleased to have both of you. And yeah, I'm sorry you missed the beginning, Stefan, but there's always, as you know, there's videos and stuff, and I'm going to be posting. I think once our cabin's built, we're building a cabin, I'm going to be posting 2 or 3 times a week and then doing this live class because I'm just loving it. So I'm going to be sharing a lot more yoga. So yeah, lots of love to you both. And Eve, I want to have a catch up, and it's really nice to meet you, Stefan. Is that how you spell your pronounce your name? Because I realise I'm saying it probably in a German way, Stefan. Okay. Well, lots of love to you both. Great. I'm pleased it's the right way of saying it. And see you again. See you soon. Hope that's you on the piano, Stefan. I can see you. Is it playing the piano? Or is it with the pig? You've got a great little... Bye! Oh, it's a pig. Okay, it looks like someone on the piano. Piano in the dark. Great. Have a lovely day.